where's our notification? There we are. So we're live on YouTube now. We just need the video to connect so I can get the link. Put the link in our community so that those that are not in studio, like Teray and Heather and Dr. Tachi and Dewana and Dr. Toya, who are in studio, they can watch along on YouTube and interact in the comments. There we have it in the community for everybody. Speaking of community, if you are a solopreneur or an entrepreneur and you are struggling to get to your first six figures in business, we have a community for you and it is free. So join us, shaycannon.info/group. Lots of value being given in that group. Some say they feel like they should be paying for it. There's so much value in there. In fact, it's value in there waiting on you. There are already free trainings in there. There are already so much in there that you can just take advantage of. Morning shows are in there. So, hey, get on the good foot, shaycannon.info/group. All right. Good morning. Let's get started. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. Everything starts with the blog. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/magic because we're talking about the magic of pricing for small businesses. Okay. And the magic really is psychology. We are using some of the psychology tactics learned by big business. They have spent a lot of money, a lot of time and research to find out these tactics that help people make a buying decision based on price. Okay, based on price. So we have been talking about this all week long. I have put all of these strategies into 4 different categories. Part 1 was perception-based pricing. If you want to learn those 5 strategies about in the perception-based pricing category, go to part 1 on Monday's replay. Part 2 was value-based pricing, and we had about 6 strategies under that category. Go to part 2. That was on Tuesday's replay. Yesterday was part 3. That was market-based pricing, and you got about 5 more strategies. And I'm happy to tell you that today we have a new category, which is behavior-based pricing, and we have about 8 categories to share with you this morning. So let's get started. What is behavior-based pricing? Well, this category is focused on influencing customers' behavior and decision-making processes. The strategies leverage insights from behavioral psychology, right, to guide consumer actions, create urgency, and optimize them to convert for the sale, all right? The first strategy, price anchoring. Price anchoring. And this is where you display a higher price item next to the intended price item, okay? A higher price item next to the intended price item. Keep in mind, this is 2 different items. So it's not like a higher price and a lower price for the same thing. It's a higher price item next to a lower price item, okay? Service-based offers, it's effective when they use it with its premium option and a standard option, right? So it makes the standard option seem more affordable, okay? So we use this in our consulting packages, in our memberships, right? Product-based businesses is good for consumer goods where there are tiers of products, right? So there may be the basic model electronic and the electronic that have more features, right? It could be the baseline product and the more luxury version of that product. So price anchoring, all right? Let's go to the next one, decoy pricing. Decoy pricing. This is one that includes a third price. So you got the 2, right? But this one includes a third price. And the third price further enhances you to pick one, okay? But let me tell you how they do it. And I'm telling you, they just did it with me with a product called InVideo. InVideo said you can pay, what was it, $99 a month for 12 months, or you can pay $199 for lifetime, or you can pay, I think it was like $299 a month for like more features. Well, I mean, $99 a month or $199 lifetime or 200 went okay. So we know that $99 is decoy pricing, right? Why would I do $99 a month when I can do $199 in a lifetime? So out of those 3, it's clear which one they want me to pick. It's clear which one is the best value. And that decoy pricing is just to push you over there to make a buying decision, okay? For service-based businesses, this is ideal for subscription services and packages where the middle option is the preferred option. For product-based businesses, it's suitable for products that have multiple versions or add-ons, right? It's even good for product-based businesses when they have like the guarantee or the warranty. If they want you to buy the extra warranty, right, then the price with the warranty is very close to the price without. So they clearly want you to get the warranty, right? The other prices are decoy pricing. Okay. Let's go to our next strategy, loss leader pricing. Okay. And that is selling a product at a loss to attract customers who will then buy additional items. Okay. So this is where like upselling comes in, or where free trials come in, right? So you're leading with something at a loss to gain the profit later on. Okay. So with service-based businesses, this is effective for initial consultations or discovery calls, right? Introductory services, right? Like I said, maybe even like a discount on the first month. For product-based businesses, oh, they do that all the time, right? So they might say your printer comes with free ink, knowing that they're going to charge you for a lifetime for that expensive ass ink on down the road, right? And then you got gaming consoles that let you try the game for free, and then you have to buy into the game. So yeah, loss leader pricing. You start with something low cost or free where there's a loss, and you add on where you're going to make up your profit later on. Okay. The next strategy, price skimming. Price skimming. This is, and skimming, in case this Alabama got in the way, SKIMMING. And this is setting high initial prices and then lowering them over time. So this is the opposite of the loss leader pricing, right? So let me tell you where this is good. This is good, especially in service-based businesses. If you do an assessment that's a part of your service, so you do an assessment and then everything else is you servicing them based on that assessment has a value that is probably higher than you servicing them on the assessment. And you don't want them to get the assessment and then not continue your service, because then you'll be at a loss, right? So what you could do, like, you do the assessment fee upfront, in addition to the monthly servicing them. It could even be where product-based businesses do things like a setup fee, right? If you have like a electronic or something that needs setting up for you to start using it. Anything where there is an initial high price and then they go lower over time, okay? So I gave you some great examples. I hope you got that one. Let's go to the next one. Penetration pricing. Penetration pricing. That's setting low initial prices to gain market share, okay? Then raising them. Now, let me tell you, this is different than the skimming price, okay? Because the skimming price is they get a low initial price for this same thing, and then they get high price going on. Now, the penetration price is the same thing for everybody. It's one cost, and then later on it's another cost. Kanye West just did that. He released, I think, what was it? Some earplugs or something, and it's a lower price. It was a lower price for everybody, right? On down the line, to get those same earplugs, it's going to be a higher price, right? So it's not necessarily something that's continuing and it starts low and it ends high. It's something that is the same thing that everybody's going to buy, but when it first came out, it was a low price. So everybody could use it, everybody can be talking about it, and everybody else that comes in, they got to pay the high price. Okay, so that's penetration price. You're just penetrating the market with the lower price, and once you're in that market, you raise the price for that same thing for everybody else. All right. Time limited price or limited time price. And that's offering special prices for a limited time to create urgency. Okay, so this is not really penetrating the market. It's not really the same thing. This, I want you to think about early bird pricing, right? Even if it's been out there for a while, it's a limited time discount, right? So this is more for products that kind of have already been out there more so than it is for products that are being introduced to the market. Or it could be for events where it's this, the first price when it first comes out, again, early bird price, and then you got 7 days to get this early bird price, and then it goes to regular price. And that's part of the urgency. They're telling you that this is going to end. They're telling you what the limited time period is, okay? For product-based businesses, we do it all the time with holiday sales, flash sales, that type of thing, okay? Then we have pay what you want pricing. Have you ever heard of this? Pay what you want pricing. And this allows customers to pay any amount that they choose, okay? This has been done very well in service-based businesses for like community workshops or donation-based services. So I'm gonna tell you, it works better with things that really would have been free, but there's so much value people would be willing to pay. And so they like pay what you want rather than have it be for free. And so it kind of doesn't matter what people pay. But when people do pay what you want, it usually has a threshold, right? So some of them will say, well, at least $1 or at least $5, or depending on what it is, at least $20, pay what you want, right? And product-based offers is best for like digital products or experimental offers. So that could be like music downloads, ebooks, something that's a passive income type product to where once you make it, it's, it costs you nothing else, no matter how many you sell. So those are the best ones for that pay what you want pricing. And then we have, last but not least, pay what you can, okay? Now, this is usually used specifically for nonprofits, okay? Or community-focused businesses. It's the same as pay what you want, but pay what you want is usually for for-profit businesses. Pay what you can is usually used for nonprofit businesses, but it's basically the same kind of idea, right? But it would be like if the community center had a yoga class and they're just like, pay what you can towards because really the teacher is either dedicating their time or the teacher is being paid by the, the organization, and you're just coming in paying what you can to participate. Let me think about product-based. Product-based could be like food banks. Okay. It could be like coming and being a part of the like the farming plots and all that kind of stuff. That's an example of pay what you can. All right. So let me give you this entire list without all the descriptions, because we got some good ones today. We got 8 in our behavior-based pricing. We had price anchoring. We had decoy pricing. We had loss leader pricing. We had price skimming. We had penetration pricing, limited time pricing, pay what you want and pay what you can. All right. So good morning to Shawana over there on YouTube. She said, I've done both loss leader and skimming pricing. Awesome. Thank you for starting us off, Shawana. All right, let's start with Dr. Toya. Dr. Toya, out of our behavior-based pricing, which one are you going to start using more? Where do you see the opportunity for your offers?
I think I want to try pay what you can. No, pay what you want. No, which one is it? Pay what you want.
For profit is pay what you want.
I think I want to try pay what you want, like to bring people into when I do like guided meditations and guided journeys.
Yes.
And then they'll see it, experience, and then, be able to buy other ones later. So I think I want to try that. I've been thinking about it, just hadn't figured out how to do it, but I think I want to try that.
Well, I'll tell you, I would pick the meditation that people like the most, the one that is going to hook them in, right? And then you got to do what Andy Heringuez of Storytelling Academy, what he says is the money is in the gap, right? So you got to show them what more they need. What are they missing? What's in the gap that they would pay for as an upsell? So I think that's the best strategy when you're doing pay what you want and an intention for them to taste it and come back and pay for more. You got to do the guided meditation. That's a real good one that everybody likes, right? Maybe the one I'm gonna tell you, the one I liked when I experienced it and it was free, that made me come back and get another guided meditation, because usually I don't like them, but this one was one where she had us to send people out, like she had us to gather the people in our life, right? And then thank them and honor them and send their ass out the room, right? One by one, right? And then you're kind of there in a relaxed state with kind of feeling a more burden off your shoulders type of thing. And then she guided you into one that was just about you and replenishing and recharging. I was like, whoa, that was powerful, right? And that made me want to do something else with her. So a really good one that people give a really good rating to, or feel like they get immediate results from, and then tell them what they're missing and what they need to buy next to get it. Does that make sense?
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, me too. It was awesome because my guided meditations, I don't know, everybody's not good at them, I don't think. Or, they're just different ones for different people. But, I don't want to be an eagle in the sky looking down. And that didn't work for me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go away. But okay.
Yes,
So yeah,
I'm with
try
you.
that.
Thank you.
Dr. Toya, like, yeah, I don't have people being eagles either.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
actually even don't really call them meditations because just of that, right? I'm like, meditation has a certain connotation, and we're not doing that. So I typically call them guided journeys. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
feels better. That feels
yeah.
better. Cool beans, cool beans. All right, Dr. Tachi, which of these 8 strategies do you think that you can start employing to get some results around this mug?
Okay. Hold on just a second. I just was looking at it. The time limited pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking two things.
Okay.
I'm still a reseller. So I don't know if this is the kind of same thing, but when I do live selling, for
Mm-hmm.
example, yeah, it is. So when I do live selling, um, typically the items will be cheaper than if you go to my closet and buy it outright.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay, so during the time of the live, we start the bidding at a certain price. Now, it could go higher
Yeah.
and be more than what it is in the closet, but
It
it
starts
starts
low.
off lower than what it is in the closet.
Yeah, I like that. I think that what's important is before you even start the bidding to thoroughly and clearly explain what's going to happen so that people can be ready, not just sitting there and then they see the price going up and they're like, oh, but then it might be past their threshold before they figure out what's going on. So just make sure that before you start an auction, you explain to people what's going on and how to get the best deal. You don't say jump in as soon as possible with your bid, add that urgency in the beginning. Don't let them see the urgency unfold because then we miss opportunity with some people. So that's what I'll say about that one.
Okay, yeah, and typically that's what I do. I explain
Yes.
before we even start the way it works for new people, and then I periodically explain as we're going through so that if anybody new jumps in that they get it. But typically on sites like Poshmark and oh, I forgot the other sites, but the bidding sites, they typically people that are there typically kind of know and understand the way it works.
Mhm.
But I like to explain too. So yes.
Yeah. And you could take some of those, well, I don't know if you want to do this because you go live for other reasons. But you could definitely do one live just on your social media, outside of Poshmark. That way, you're getting people who aren't on Poshmark. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of see who you could take a bid like outside of Poshmark, but let them know they have to sign up for Poshmark to actually get the item. You could do something like that. You could tell them, hey, you need to sign up to this is a Poshmark event. Make sure you have your account ready and join me on Zoom and do it. You know what I'm saying? So you could do it different ways. Sherry, what's her name? Her name is Sharice Jones, who has Sassy Jones, who has gone so far with her brand. She
Yes.
started out just going live, having purse parties or sparkle parties is what she used to call them. So you could do that like outside of the thing where you don't even have to have it connected to Poshmark. It's just the same item and maybe they pay via PayPal or maybe they pay via a Stripe link and they got so much time to pay before that thing go back in auction. You know what I'm saying? So you can create a whole experience around that's outside of Poshmark, the brand. So yeah,
Absolutely. Thank
cool
you.
beans. I would attend that party. I would have me a little drink and probably don't even intend on buying nothing and end up getting stuff. So make it a party, so that people who, may not even have an intention of buying something, see something and be like, oh, okay, let me be in on that. This is look like fun. I want to get in on the fun. And you have the personality to make it very fun. So that's awesome. You can even have one that has pop culture associated with it. Do some pop culture trivia as a part of your party. So I see wonderful things for you. I want to attend. Let me know. Send me an invite.
Okay.
All right. Heather, what you over there doing? Something in your eye? So Heather, what strategy? What strategy are you going to?
I'm not, listen, ma'am. Anyway,
Y'all Heather not on camera today because something's in her eye. But Heather, which one of these strategies are you gonna start using?
right now laugh. Listen. Listen. So I think I'm going to try the penetration pricing because I want to put together those subscription offers that Teray and Dr. Toya suggested on Tuesday. So I think
Yes.
with penetration pricing for those offers would probably be the best way to go.
I like that. I do like that. Especially for people who, they don't think they need an editor, or they didn't think about that they could afford an editor. Yeah, you
Right.
could definitely get them hooked on the service. And then as a part of the process, they're used to not having to worry about it.
Yeah.
Hooked. I like that. I like that for you. Shawana is over here on the YouTube side. She says she also wants to do webinars and workshops where she can do early bird in limited time. Good stuff, Shawana. All right, Teray, which one do you want to try to help these people out and get more results for your new business?
For me, I feel like it's not just one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a background in psychology and business. So
Yes.
I'm deep into behavioral based everything.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I look at this, I'm thinking about we have more power over their buying decision than you realize. And this is the key. I feel like I'm going to combine three of them
Mm-hmm.
in order to manipulate their buying decisions. This happens to us every day. When we go into grocery stores, you don't understand how the colors, the smells, placement on the shelves in the back of the store versus the front of the store, everything matters on our buying decisions. It's all psychology, it's all behavior based. It's not just pricing, it's everything. The lighting in the store, everything. So for me, I'm going to use three of them. So I'm going to use limited time pricing because I'm going to have an open enrollment period. You're going to only be able to get in once a year or twice a year, but I'm going to, have a limited time pricing. Like, so at the beginning of the open enrollment, I'm going to offer a special discount for, 2 weeks or something, and then you'll still be able to get in, but you won't be able to. So, you know what I mean? You're going to a special price at this point. So that'll
Yes.
drive sales at the beginning.
Yes.
Then I'm going to be able to use price skimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a membership, but whenever you're going to be able to pay these low prices during the membership, but there's going to be an initial higher fee. And then I'm going to give you a lower price.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also going to be penetration pricing.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to get in at a certain price, and it's going to be, oh yeah, you can exit at any time. However, if you get in and you stay in, you're going to stay at this price like Lamar does.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come out of the membership and you get back in at another time, it's going to be at a higher price.
Yes. Love
So
it.
if you decide, well, I'm getting out, I'll come in, whenever my kid, in 2 more years, you're going to pay a higher fee. So I'm going to combine three of them. And that's going to manipulate their buying decision for the long term so they can stay in, so that they can stay at a lower price, but I'll have a long-term customer.
Love it. I love it. And so that's a great segue to what I'm going to talk about next, which is all of the pricing strategies we've talked about all week. And I'm about to go through and list all of them. So under perception-based pricing, the strategies were charm pricing, psychological pricing, odd even pricing, prestige pricing, and price perception. Okay. Under value-based pricing, it was premium pricing, freemium pricing, bundling, subscription pricing, optional product pricing, and volume pricing. Okay. Under market-based pricing, it was competitive pricing, geographical pricing, segment pricing, dynamic pricing, and seasonal pricing. And today we did behavioral-based pricing, which was price anchoring, decoy pricing, loss leader, price skimming, penetration pricing, limited time pricing, pay what you want, pay what you can, right? Your goal is to add as many of these strategies in as possible, right? So that everywhere somebody turns, that if they're thinking about getting this, there's something to help them get off the fence. right? That's all we want. We want them to get off the fence. So I'm not a proponent of, if someone tell me no, I'm still trying to convince. I don't convince, but I'm going to bake in so much psychology, right? Whether it's in how the pricing is shown, how it's stacked, like Teray said, where things are located on the sales page, what are the colors in the logo, what are the colors of the buy buttons, all the things, right? To help you get off the fence and get off the fence now, right? That's what all of this is about. And so go through that pricing, and every time you get ready to launch something, every time you get ready to promote something, every time you get ready to create a sales page, you go through here and see how many that you can apply that makes sense and is appropriate for the time period that you're doing this, right? Every now and then, I'll say at least once a month, we need to go back to offers that have been out there a while and see, can we switch up the strategy and then reintroduce it? This is all so that we can have continuous and consistent sales, and so that we can have high conversion rates. We're using the power of psychology to help us, right? So this has been a great week for psychology of selling. Does anybody have any questions, or does anybody have any value adds around pricing? Because like Teray said, we see this all the time. We're subjected to it all the time, right? The virtual down sale, right? Or the virtual cross sale is just like being in the grocery store and getting in line and they got gum and all these other little things, right? For you to buy, low price things for you to buy, that's going to add up and make your, your cart value higher, right? It's no different than going through the line at McDonald's and you order a number one and they ask you, do you want to supersize it? Or do you want an apple pie with that? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So we just need to apply these things that when we're in a customer mode, are being applied to us. Think about the dollar store, right? You have so many things at a low price that people just start getting them, right? And then they get to the register and it's $200. How the hell did I spend $200 in the dollar store? Well, you got 200 items. You know what I'm saying? So we can employ some of these things in our business. It's a reason why they work. People have done lots of research to come up with this stuff, and we can use it to our benefit too, to help our people to get off the fence and get off the fence quicker. What you got, Dr. Tachi?
Well, two questions, if I may. So with the, for example, the, what is the pricing? Did you say it's perimeter pricing?
I
Or
don't know.
did I make that up?
Penetration? I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, we need to call it perimeter pricing. Anyway, but
Okay.
the when you're in the store, I forgot what that is, and you go to the register, and then there's all these or by the register. Ulta is my favorite example of this. Ulta and Sephora. So you go to get whatever you're going to get, and then on the way to the register, they have all these wonderful beauty products that are travel sized and just smell wonderful. And I need
Yes.
that for my face. My under
Yes.
eyes need that. So what is that called? And how do you do that type of thing with a service-based business?
So to me, it sounds a little like, let me see. It sounds a little like, it's almost like the free trial, but it's trial sized. It's the one where you're tasting. Let me see. Let me go back up. It's almost like penetration pricing, but not really. Let me see. Lowering them over time. Loss leader. Oh, you know what? It might not be a good description of it in this line, because it's that one is being made specifically for, because it's not loss leader, because you're not making a loss. You're not having a loss. It's not the regular size for a lower price. It's the trial size for a nice trial size price. So it's almost like penetration pricing, only because you're introducing something to them that would not have been introduced had it not been the trial size. Like they might not have gotten it with what they were already buying at regular size and at regular price. So it's almost like that, but it's almost like it's a mix of ones. But anything that has a trial, anything, it can be a trial size, a trial, you know what I'm saying? Like memberships, they tell you can get a month for free. So it's not necessary, or a month for $7. $7 is a good one that people do a trial offer on, $7 trial per month. So it's just, you got to look at how can you make what you're doing in the service trial sized so
Okay.
that what they're paying for, you're not giving at a loss, right?
Okay.
So maybe it's a free Q&A that they can come in, but they can't, they can come in and they can hear something and they can be a part of the Q&A, but they can't have access to like the library of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what kind of limited access can you give for a trial period for them to taste it as a service and then come in on the full thing? But again, the money's going to be in the gap. So you got to show them what all they're missing, right? So if you got value off just this little bit, imagine the value you would get off full access type of thing. So that's what I would do. But I don't quite know which one to call it because I think it's like a combination of them.
Okay. And is that different from like for a service? Would that be different from a lead magnet? Now I know sometimes lead magnets can be free, but sometimes they're like a lower cost to lead you to the other thing. So could this be the same thing where this trial size is leading you to a big, or are they two separate things?
That's two separate things because the
Okay.
lead magnet is designed to give you a little something, but it's never going to get bigger. You see what I'm saying? It's going to stay little because the lead magnet is the lead magnet. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the trial period is limited access to something that will eventually be bigger if you want to continue to access. You see the difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And one other question.
Mhm.
So with Indie Soup, I'm trying to figure out which of these things could be implemented. Now, obviously, with the addition of things like courses and things, you could do the limited time pricing or whatever. But aside from that, I'm trying to figure out what could work.
So you could do the limited access thing, right? Where they can, you have a collection of shows, maybe the best of from some of your creators, and they can pick one to watch for free. And then if they want to continue to what, you know what I'm saying? Because, and this is where, like I was telling Dr. Toya, we got to pick our best ofs, right? We can't just pick the one that wasn't that good because there's nothing there to hook them in the one that's not as good, right? So if we can get them, let's say 5 creators and their your 5 best creators and their 5 best shows, and let them, experience one of the 5 for free. They're going to want to, first of all, it's going to be hard to pick out of the 5. Right. And then they hear the show and they get the, this content creator's personality, they get the good information. And now they either want to continue with that creator or they want to experience the other ones too. So they go ahead and buy into a subscription to see everybody. Does that make sense?
It does.
Cool.
Thank you.
Shawana's over here answering questions. She said, when you were talking about the stuff being around the cash register, she said that's called point of sale selling. And she said when you're buying and adding on at the register, she said that's her former life, y'all.
Oh, wow.
Hilarious. All right. Did anybody else have any questions or anything value add? Oh, that's good. Teray said, or a 2-minute snippet of your best creators. Yeah. Cool beans. I love
Because
that.
when I tell you that every time I get a sample of anything, I end up buying it. A lot of times, because I go to the store, I'm like, this is the cream that I like. This is all I want. Would you like to try? No, I don't want to. Don't sell me anything else. This is what I want. Okay, well, here's a free sample. Okay, thank you. I go home, I use that free sample. I'm like, this is a great scrub. I need more of this.
Yeah.
Every time.
Love it. I love it. Shawana is over here talking about that's also the opportunity to get donations for business charities at the register, y'all, is what she's still over there talking about at the register at the store.
Yes. Oh, okay. One more.
Yes. 2 more.
Okay. what, oh, it left me, but it was like a tandem to raise sample type of, oh, yes, here it is.
Okay.
So I don't even know if this is a thing, but this is, for example, something that I do. So I go, and it may not even be related to this, but so for with the free sample thing, I was in Sephora and got a sample of the Sunday Riley Good Jeans,
Okay.
and which is like a serum. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of good. But then discovered it was like super harsh and it's ridiculously expensive, for what it is. And so I
Mhm.
was like, well, what are dupes or something that offers a similar experience for less pricing? Which is how I found like the skin care regimen and serums that I use now, which works wonderfully. And I didn't have to overpay for something that was like over drying. So is
Mhm.
there a concept for that? And like I said, it may not even be related, but finding something that has the features you want and then I don't know, like offering something to you get where I'm trying to go?
I do. So that's less about pricing and more about comparative transformation, right?
Okay.
And so in our marketing, what we do is we bring you into the know of something that you know about, but we have features that are better. And so we compare ourselves to show that we are better than what you're used to or what you would have picked without knowing about us. So
Hmm.
that's that comparative marketing. And this is a part of that USP, that unique sales proposition. You need to know, this is why we need to know about our competitors. What gap do we feel that they don't feel? What is it that we're doing that they're not doing? Right? So we experience that a lot. So some of us we might like some of the more expensive stuff, but then there's a lower cost thing that comes in and they're coming in on the coattails of the higher price thing, and they're telling you, hey, we basically got the same thing, right? We experience that a lot with people that come back and tell us, why buy the higher price version when our version gets manufactured in the same place? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It just doesn't have the name, so that's another way that they do it. Or you can get the same benefit for less. Or we have simple packaging to help save you money. What about the banks that don't have a brick and mortar building, right? They tend to have higher return on your savings, yield. That percentage yield tends to be higher because they are a virtual bank that doesn't have the overhead of a brick and mortar bank. So they're going to tell you, hey, because you're leading, well, whoever the leading bank, they're giving you this much of a savings return on your savings. We're giving this much, and it's because of this, and this. It's also why they use sustainability. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here jacking up the environment, and we can get you the same transformation. So yeah, that's more of in the unique selling proposition and using comparative marketing, but it
Hmm.
works.
Okay, thank
You can bring price into it in that you have the lower price or it's the same price, but enter whatever your unique selling proposition is.
okay. Because I also
Or
do
you
this.
can also use it to justify why you're a higher price, right? So that was
Ah,
one of the pricing ones. That was the prestige pricing and the premium pricing, right?
oh, yes.
Because there is a community that associate higher price with higher quality, whether the quality is actually there or not. And
Which
what
is why
people don't,
people buy the Louis Vuitton that is coated canvas. It's the name.
it is, but also it's I think that especially entrepreneurs when they're first starting out and they're doing confidence pricing, they don't understand that people who understand the value of the transformation are not swayed by a lower price because they know it's not supposed to be that. So what they automatically think is you can't actually get them the transformation. This is why we have to have proper pricing. Because
Oh,
we think we come in lower and it's a no-brainer for people and I should be able to get a lot of clients. But if people know what that transformation costs and you come in lower, they're going to assume that you can't actually get them the transformation that they're looking for. So they're going to go with a higher price person because they believe that the quality is there. So that's why lower pricing don't always work for that.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's been something that's been a problem in our communities for a long time, right? paying, when someone who looks like you is selling the same thing as somebody else, we assume because, they look like us, it's not as much of a value there. It must be lower value because them folks over there are, charging us an arm and a leg. So theirs got to be better, right? So yeah, it happens a lot in different ways. It does. But we have to be careful with our pricing. All right, guys. Last call for alcohol. This was a great week. This is another one of those blogs you're going to have to bookmark and come back to time and time again. I would even take that blog and make a PDF of it and put it in your storage so that when you are getting ready to promote something, you're getting ready to launch something, you're getting ready to change something about something you've had out there for a while to breathe new life into it. These are some of the strategies that you can use around pricing to bring that offer to life. So this has been a great week. What you got, Dr. Toya? Give me something.
Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute. I was just thinking about what we were just talking about, and it's not, the initial part isn't pricing, but this is like that sample, giving that sample product as a service-based business. I realized the last 2 master classes that I had, initially I was sending out the regular sale, the using language in my sales emails and all of those things. And then I switched it up and I started sending out snippets from the previous class. And I was, the message basically would be like, take a look at what we talked about last time. And when I did that, each of those emails sold significantly more than when I was just sending out the text. So as I'm thinking about it, that is like a sample. Essentially, I gave them a sample of what they would be getting if they came, and that is what persuaded them to come.
Yes. In the way that you use it, it's that social proof, right? That social proof is supposed to give people a look into the future, right? It's why when you have your master classes and stuff toward the end, ask people what they got out of it, right? On the same recording, ask people what they thought about it, all of those things, which as I'm thinking about it, I forgot to do last night. But if you ask them right on the recording, then that can be a part of the snippet. And instead of it being some of your intellectual property that goes out, it's this video testimonial of, how it felt for them to be a part of the masterclass, because that's information that is helping people, right? To make that buying decision. So I like the idea of both. So
yeah, I use the social proof as one of the sales emails, but those still don't convert as literally the videos of me talking. Yes. And they weren't long. I just did 2-minute clips of a 3-hour class, but it's like literally it's now I'm like, I know that's money. I know that when I send out the video, people gonna buy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm not telling you do one or the other. I'm saying do both. I think that you should do both.
But I
love
also need
that
to
worked, and then
proof.
also have the video of the people that were in the class, like their reaction to what you said.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
In the mind of the person watching the snippet, they're feeling something, and then that something is confirmed by this other person who was there saying they felt the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and so I need to get video. I only do words, like send me back your thoughts. So I do need to incorporate getting a video of them saying stuff at the end. So I will do that.
Just make it a part of after the Q&A. When the Q&A starts to slow down, just start asking them how they felt about that. Was that helpful? What was most helpful about it? What was a key thing that you learned that you feel like is going to be transformational for your life? You know what I'm saying? Like lead them into the type of testimonial that you want, so that it is of value, and do it right on the recording towards the end, so that your video editor always knows, check the end for these types of things. So yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Love it. Love it. Did anybody else want to add anything? Teray said, this is why you have to know your audience. You know what works. Yes. Love it. Love it. Heather said, what a great idea, Dr. LaToya. It was a great idea. Let's see if Shawana is over here. Candyman, you over here saying anything? No, she's not saying anything. Cool. Let's go into our announcements. Okay. The only announcement, let me remind y'all about the ChatGPT prompt that is for all of the strategies of this week. Okay. So the prompt is in the show notes if you want to copy and paste it to put it in ChatGPT, or you want to make sure you're getting it right, but I am going to give it to you verbally. So the ChatGPT prompt for this week is the same prompt I've told you every day this week. And it is, my offer includes, and you're going to insert your offer's features. It helps insert a description of your ideal client, to stop, insert the problem or the pain points, by, insert the solution, to, insert the transformation, okay? And then you say which psychology or pricing would fit best to create a compelling offer and quicken, as in fast, quicken the buying decision. And then you put the whole list on there and let ChatGPT help you to pick some stuff, okay? Now, you can do this for all of your offers, all of them, right? And then it should come out with different suggestions, and this should help you when you're going to promote this same thing again next time. Right now, you can apply these strategies, and next time you can apply these strategies. So this is how we can pull together, use this prompt ongoing, okay? Ongoing, not just one time. All right. The only announcement is that it's not too late to get in on the custom GPTs for business workshop and challenge experience. The live workshop was last night, but the replay is already ready. So if you sign up, you automatically get access to the vault, and in the vault, the replay and the presentation deck from the replay is ready for you. It was amazing. Look, Shawana was there live. Dr. LaFerry was there live. They got all their questions answered. Now they're ready to go for Monday. But guess what? You have today till Monday night to get ready, right? So you got time to look at the replay, get your questions ready. So even if you weren't on live, you will have an opportunity to get your questions about the workshop answered first day of the challenge, all right? But next week is when we start implementing and start building our custom GPTs, now that you are in the know of the concept and how to use them, all right? So go to shaycannon.com/GPT and go ahead and get that replay and get started. All right, guys, that's it for the week. I hope y'all have a nice day. I hope you have a nice week. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.